Going on, everybody? Good evening. Welcome back. Switched it up this week. Normally we go at 12:30. We switched it up this week. I think you're gonna be okay though. Think you're gonna be all right. Hope you had a good week. This month is over. It's a wrap. What are you gonna do? 1 month left. 2 months left. I really don't consider like December a month of working. I really like to claim November as it. People don't work past that, really, in my eye. Once you hit December the 15th, it's over. Really like December the 5th. People already started pulling out. Yeah, we're going on vacation. Gotta take the missus on the cruise. That's usually what happens. Yeah, missus wanna go on a cruise. Gotta take her. Gotta get something for the kids. You know the boys need something. Choose how it goes. Give a shout out to everybody here. My let what's going on? That's right. Stay snap free. Black Dove 21. Okay. What's going on? I guess it's locomania. Locomania. Uh, you are here. You only lose yourself. Yep, yep. How you doing? Quantum, what's up? D Watts, what's happening? Mhm. Ding. Brianna, what's going on? Coco, what up? Heather, what up? And I'm assuming it should have been Sir Steven, but I see IR Steven, so I'm gonna go with IR Steven. I may make you Sir Steven for the day. I don't know, but know how I feel. All right, so let's get started. I haven't. I missed out on the controversy. I don't know if y'all been keeping up. Have y'all been keeping up with Stephen A. Smith? Now I know about him and Miss Crockett. I got that, but I didn't see the one where he went off on Don Staley and said some words, and she replied. So and I know he got suspended, and then he's back and he sent an apologies, but I haven't heard the words that he stated uh prior to that. That's why I was looking for. I was looking for what he stated. That's what I was trying to find. I know they suspended him, but I didn't hear the words on what he said. That's what I was trying to say. Trying to find what he stated. See, and you said you have an exam set for tomorrow. Uh Certification. Okay. AI data science professional course. Congrats. Good luck as well. And then I don't know if y'all saw uh Cam Newton slapping the mascot in Alabama. I think it was Alabama State. Not yeah, it was Alabama State because Alabama A&M was it's the Hornets. So he slapped the mascot. I don't know if y'all saw that. You know, keeping up with with the news. You know, whatever's going on. Hold on, let me pull this up too. Um, let me go here. I probably can catch it here than anywhere else. Um, hopefully I can see it. Wanna do this real quick and then we can get into the show. I may have to search for it. Let me see. Yeah, I may have to search for it. Yeah, I might have to search for it. Hold on. Yep, right here. All right, so I'm only gonna do like first couple of minutes, then we off to the races on our own thing. Let me find it here, and then we can start. This my dedication. I like this one. All right, this is my dedication to D'Angelo. I think this is a good mix. See, let me know if y'all can hear that. $51, man. That's crazy. So we lost another Lewis. Another make it to 50. Africa is my descent, and here I am, far from home. I dwell within a land that's meant for many men, not my tone. Oh, 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 Blood of God is my defense. Let it drop down to my seat. Shouts to your innocence. Heather, I know you can protect you for all eternity. And with this word, I beat the strong. We won't see defeat. From kings and queens comes a prince. Knowledge and wisdom is understanding what we need. And this game of love, ever since the day it came, my whole world given a change. I knew that together keep my life for your arms. And this game of love, every day I feel grown. Remember what you already know. I receive the love that radiates from your glow. Now, for y'all youngins out there, this was a jam when D'Angelo came out. Like Voodoo, Black Messiah, even the collabs. Um, and then you just go back and look at some of the stuff. Now, I'm a good call it out as I hear it. And and if you go look at through some of the videos, like between Maxwell, D'Angelo, Sierra, and Janet Jackson, I don't know what they say sometimes. Like, just gonna call it is what it is. However, that does not even even within that, you still can vibe to the music, right? Like I thought this was a great mix, a great dedication um for that particular song. I've heard some people try to do this song and it didn't sound like that. You didn't It's not like you forgot and D'Angelo actually did this song. You just knew he did it, but this is like a good take on that particular song, right? So that's my shout out to D'Angelo. Again, we lost Ananda Lewis this year. Um, we lost a lot of people this year. Um, yeah, leave my own mom. All to cancer. What you say, D'Angelo's probably one of your favorite artists. Still can't believe the root is probably one of my favorite. Yep. Even out of the roots, like if you start digging into the soul quarians and just that time of music when it was like, okay, yeah, we hear you hip hop, but we got this other vibe. The whole start of you know Erica Badu, Jill Scott, um the whole Roots, and just the Common, and just that whole vibe there. What is the Most Def, Black Star? Yeah, and the fact that it was called neo soul. But it was just a different vibe. It was like a mix of jazz, hip hop. It was just its own genre. And hit spark in what you have today. I don't know what do you put? Do you put her in R&B? Uh, what do you put her? Where do you put Jasmine Sullivan at? Is she R&B? Where do you put? Because I don't put Jasmine Sullivan in R&B. Like I don't put Jasmine Sullivan in R&B. Um, so I don't know. It's like you have different genres. Like you start to carve out different. I will put let's see, what's his name? The one from Hawaii, Aniston Pack and Bruno Mars. What do you put them in? Yep, D'Angelo died. 51. What do you put? What do you put? Bruno Mars at? Is he R&B? Because he's not neo soul. If we want to put it there, but I'm just saying, is he R&B? Hip pop? Okay. Um, so it's just like one of those things. Like for me, listening to that genre of music, it's so many people that came out of that genre. For that. And then what do you what is Scissor Fall? I don't know. Is she pop? Is Scissor pop? Funk and soul? Okay. But is Scissor pop? What does she fall? Let me see. So I just did a quick search. They got uh, Music Soul Child came out of that era too. Um Raphael Sadiq. I mean, he was Raphael Sadiq and them were already out. Tony were already out, but then I guess that collab with them and Lucy Pearl probably makes them more neo soul at that point, I guess. Oh yeah, I forgot about Josh Stone, Floetry, Raheem Devon, Dwelle. Um, I don't know. They consider Macy Gray. I don't consider Macy Gray that. Guapale, most definitely. Glenn Lewis, um, Bilal, yeah. I figured Layla James would probably fall under whole neo soul, Amel LaRue. I don't know. Selena Johnson is probably more soul than she is anything else. Uh, so I don't know. And then Mint Condition, but Mint Condition was out before neo soul was even a thing. So you know, I don't know. Oh, did they come out around about that time? I think they were before. I think Mint Condition was before because the Pretty Brown Eyes. What wasn't that in the 90s? 93? Uh, when did Pretty Brown Eyes come out? 91. Yeah. So yeah, we didn't even have Sounds of Blackness. You tripping. You tripping. You tripping, Don. So okay, I'm glad you brought Sounds of Blackness up. So Sounds of Blackness, you want I could throw them like that the whole thing with secular gospel. This is your BB and CC Winans. This is your Yolanda Adams. This is your, your almost like your, I don't want to say your church songs, but a song that evoke that you will probably hear gospel wise now evoking or and crossing over to regular radio, right? Congratulations. You said you saw the video a year ago. And you just passed your API Linux Essential Exam certification last Saturday. Congratulations. Keep going. Keep going. Heather, you say SZA is alternate R&B. What is alternate R&B? Alternative R&B. What is that? Even Amy Winehouse considered neo soul, right? You say they all be on Motown. Always seen music, NDRE, yeah, Floor Tree, yeah, like neo soul, like it's kind of like even when Take Six came out, they were in that gray area, uh because they could do multitude of things. Now that here's the one thing that I think is true. Here's two bands who I think have stood the test of time that were able to carve out their own lane and no one never really balked at them. And the first one goes to Boys to Men, right? No one balks at Boys to Men when they go on tour or whatnot. And New Edition, Boys to Men and New Edition, they're like it's like one of them things. Oh, they on tour. Oh, okay, yeah, I could see them. Oh, okay, like Boys to Men more so than anything, they're more international or whatnot, right? Um, so I love to, I'm a big fan. I love to see all the artists get they shine and be able to and be able to go. That would have been dope. If it happens, that'll be dope. Um uh like this the kind of stuff I like to see. Let me see. This kind of stuff I like to see right here. This how I want all the artists to shine right here. This Kendrick Lamar drop in Argentina. This is what I, anyway, we still have an audio. I drop it and you guys can watch it, but it should be playing. Hold on, let me drop it. I don't know why you don't hear this one. Hold on, let me do this. And y'all let me, better yet, let me know if you can hear. Let me hold on. Let me go do this. Oh, we can hear. It's the video. Okay. Oh no, you may not. I played the video. I don't know why you can't hear it. It's kind of like this. When I don't know, have y'all ever watched like Tomorrowland and who I don't know if you ever watched the videos for like Tomorrowland and the graphics and so forth. Like Tomorrowland be crazy. Um just the amount of people and the effects. I don't know if you ever paid attention to them. Like let me just run through it real quick. Can y'all hear that? Tomorrowland is more than a stage, it's more than fireworks, it's more than the artist performing. It's about the vibe and the energy that we pair with our own whatever we go. Thank you to the miracle crew that managed to pull this off. I want to take a moment to make the biggest shout out to Tomorrowland, to every single person who made this stage happen. I'm feeling high life thanks to you guys, so make some noise for Team Tomorrowland. And then they be having several stages. I was like, one day I'm gonna go to that. I'm gonna have to find somebody to go with because D ain't gonna go. She not gonna go. She not gonna go. Uh Tomorrowland. That's too many people for her. She'll pass out. She'll pass out. She ain't gonna do that. Like this, something like this right here. She ain't gonna. Wait, wait. She ain't gonna go. I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. I ain't going out there. I'm like, okay. I just want to go one time for the experience. All right, so let's get busy. Yes, this is late night, so anything is bound to happen. Anything is bound to be said. Within the parameters of she'll cut my mic off. You know, you know how she do. All right. Let me see. All right, cool. All right, well, I'll cut up. All right. So let's get busy. So this week in the world of tech, I don't know if you guys been keeping up. Let me do this first. From this perspective, and then we will get busy. So if you haven't been keeping up in Slack, JR's been posting jobs. Evelyn, I post jobs. Um, I haven't been posting like I normally do. I used to hit y'all up, wham. But anyway, if you go in here, there's jobs out here. I put one on a job on the website on the post for women in Linux. I don't know if anybody went and checked the job out, but it was a job that I posted. Let me see. Let me pull it up, and then let's go to the post and pull it up. All right. So here, a senior research engineer for edge computing, 460 to 555. 460 to 555. I posted that. And the reason why I posted that job, because again, when we're talking about research and we're talking about just in general degrees and so forth, you know, the will it pay off? Yeah. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Yeah. Right. 460 to 555 with open AI, relocation assistance. As a research engineer on the future of computing team, you will work together with both research scientists and the best research scientists in the world and the greatest design talent of our generation to push the frontier of model capabilities. And these kind of jobs right here, I probably would say you probably need to know somebody or you need to be in the mix of knowing someone, right? Someone pass you the resume, pass your resume along, right? But this you're not gonna get this from just a trade school. You're gonna get this through networks, right? And having the ability to stand out. And do you know how to do research? Right? A lot of people do not know how to do research, right? Um, and I want to, while I'm thinking about it, I want to give a shout out to Emily Bender. She was one of the first uh folks we did an interview with on our first podcast that we ever did on natural language NLP, natural language processing. Because she was one of my first employers over at the University of Washington. And they had their anniversary today. Um, and so uh, go check it out. I again this dealt with high performance computing. Um, most people I was looking at how many people have graduated from this program. I think they only had like 600 people that have graduated from the program, but most of these people work at your Indeeds, your Googles, your Metas, your these are the research people that work at that get those jobs, because that again it is a finite um number of people that actually go into one, natural language processing, two, understanding how to do research, and three, understanding what that looks like. So like like she was saying today, your whole thing with open AI, that's who that is. Your whole thing with predictive text, that's what that is. That's where that all that stems from. When you're typing and is the when especially when you're typing in Gmail and it wants to complete your thoughts, or when you're typing in excuse me, in Microsoft and it wants to complete your thoughts. That's where you're getting that from. Again, let me see. Natural language uh, processing engineer jobs. So again, just out of that you get JP Chase Morgan, Pinterest are some of the other ones that are looking for that. CrowdStrike. I think I saw one for Lockheed Martin. I think I posted that too, right? In here for jobs. Here's the one for this is a program for infrastructure modernization. Do you want to be at the forefront of that? Go check out that opportunity. But it was one that I posted in here that was like 450 for that one. Here's the one for when I talked about the satellites and edge computing. There's that. Lockheed Martin here, tons of jobs there. We went through and I'm trying to find the one I posted. It was like for 450 or something like that. Here's the one I posted for AWS consultant. A lot of people say they want to be a consultant. Okay, well, here's 110 to $120 an hour with 20 years of experience. But then if you got 10 years of experience, I still would apply. Just because you said you want 20, you may not get 20. And I may be a better fit for you anyway. So you never know. So again, just because you see something don't mean you don't apply. And then again, the 1.5 uh billion engineer Meta's latest hire show how costly the AI race has become, right? And I don't know how many different times I have to say to y'all or different ways. Yep, the quant computing interview was very informative. Yep. I mean, like we are at an age where we are seeing like unreal numbers. Like them 200 to 300, yeah, they nice, but you're starting to see these big numbers come up on some of these jobs. 250, 400, 500. The list goes on. So go through jobs if you can. Got them posted out there in Slack. All right, so now let's get busy. All right, so I'm gonna start here because I'm gonna start here, and then I'm gonna talk about my thoughts on this. So let's start here, and we'll get into Tamika thoughts, and then we'll go a little deeper here on some things because you've been bamboozled and you just didn't know it. So let's go.
Every day, more than 300,000 vehicles battle for space on one of Atlanta's most important highways.
So let me stop right there. Right, give you the title: the $11 billion gamble to end Atlanta's traffic nightmare. So let's go. So that's what we're talking about.
Commuters in the city's booming northern suburbs, State Route 400 has become both a lifeline and a source of daily frustration. The road that connects homes to jobs and schools is also the corridor that traps drivers in relentless traffic. What once symbolized opportunity is now a choke point straining under decades of growth. The consequences reach far beyond inconvenience. Hours lost in congestion ripple through the economy, slowing freight, draining productivity, and eroding quality of life. With forecasts predicting even more residents and jobs by 2040, the need for a transformative solution has become urgent. After years of debate, studies, and federal approvals, Georgia has given the green light to one of its boldest infrastructure undertakings yet, which has now been officially kickstarted, setting the stage for a project that promises to redefine how people move across metro Atlanta. Today, let's delve into Georgia's $11 billion State Route 400 expansion. Don't forget to click on that subscribe button and like this video, as it's the best way to support this channel.
Shout out to the new member, Past Tech Search. How are you? We appreciate you for stopping by, and also appreciate your $20. I want to say $20 cash app, but $20 tech ties. So let me preface some of this while we're talking. While I'm talking here. All right. So particularly in majority of the black cities, in the southeast or where black people live, 56%, according to Department of Labor. And in that 56%, most of you all, most black people live in Atlanta, Houston, um, uh, parts of Alabama, and then we'll just go ahead and just kind of grab uh, the DMV and throw that in there, right? So with that being said, most of you all either travel at least 20 minutes to work, but probably more like 30 minutes to an hour to work. We typically we don't live in the inner cities, because most of the time, um, I'm excluding New York in this. Most of the time, the jobs are not in the cities; they're on the outskirts of the cities. They're in the suburbs of the cities. And typically, those suburbs don't tend to lean towards public transportation, or if they do, it's a set time. Um, I can give you my own, Even when I was living in Colorado, you would have to drive to the ride share, and that ride share to catch that bus to drive into that's gonna take you into Denver is only gonna run at a certain time. It's gonna be cut off at a certain time. So if you want to work, you know, if you want to get off at 7 o'clock, that last bus probably left at 6. That was a limited amount of time. It did what it had to do, and you had to be on there to get out. Anything else, you were kind of stranded, or you had to figure out a way to get to a train station or so forth. Typically, what I have seen in most of the major cities that are really predominantly black based is the jobs are not on the side of town in which you live on. You have to travel. Or you can't afford the house in which, or you can't afford the neighborhood around the corner from where the job is at. Or you don't want to live in the neighborhood where that job is at because they don't have things that you need. Typically, the type of foods, the going to, especially for black women, going to a Target to get black hair care products, to go to Walmart to get black hair care products. The Sally's doesn't look like the regular Sally's, or the hair care products that you're looking for, you got to order online because you're not going to get them down the street or whatnot, right? And so the reason why I'm bringing this up, because typically this has been an issue with finding jobs, in particular making the commute for the job that's going to pay you well enough to have the wear and tear on your car, the time that it's going to take you to get there, plus travel, plus studying, plus working, plus getting off to go to said event for child or said event for yourself, a networking event, whatever the case may look like, right? So our day to day gets caught up with just that in general. So we're talking what, 4 hours a day? So it probably take you what, 30 minutes to an hour to get dressed. You slide out the house. It's probably 30 minutes to an hour to commute. You get to work, you do your thing. Say you didn't pack a lunch. So now you gotta eat at work or eat something around there, or you don't eat or you order, right? And then you gotta make the commute home, and you need to be out there by a certain time, because if you stay longer than blah 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 blah, it's an hour and a half, or it's an hour, or it could be 30 minutes. You pick your poison. So your days, you work 8-hour days, plus you got what, 3 or 4 hours of commute. So that's 11 hours. That's what your day is like. And then to the next thing after that is studying. Oh, you got to work out. Oh, you got to cook. Oh, you got to do this. Oh, you got to do that. So again, you spend a lot of time on these things. So we're gonna get back to it, and we're gonna w- you can almost you can almost you can almost classify working um in in a way as a detriment to your health, a detriment to your life. So why would you not want to get paid the most amount of money? Why would you not want to get paid for your time, right? And why would you not want to get paid where you can have some leeway to do other things, right? And when I say leeway to do other things, if I make enough money, I can then save enough money. I can then have money put aside for emergencies, right? That's what I mean about other things. So let's get back to it.
State Route 400, often called Georgia 400, is a vital north-south highway linking Atlanta's perimeter business district to the fast-growing suburbs of Fulton and Forsyth counties. For decades, it has served as the backbone of the region's commuting network, carrying workers from sprawling subdivisions and booming office parks to one of the city's largest job hubs inside the I-285 Beltway. Yet the very growth it enabled also overwhelmed it. Originally designed to handle about 100 to 120,000 vehicles daily, by the 2010s, volumes had surged past 300,000 in some stretches, straining the corridor well beyond capacity. Earlier widenings added lanes, but each was quickly consumed by demand, and congestion returned worse than before. Without intervention, it risks becoming a choke point threatening Metro Atlanta's competitiveness. The lack of transit only worsens matters. The MARTA Red Line ends at North Springs, leaving commuters north of that point dependent on cars or buses caught in the same gridlock. State Route 400 needed more than extra lanes. It required a smarter, integrated solution. Building on the success of express lanes on I-85, I-75, and I-575, the Georgia Department of Transportation placed State Route 400 in its major mobility.
So I'm going to say this to all you people that drive down to Atlanta. You guys come into the city, right? You're coming down 20 East, and you get to the juncture. Do I go 20? Do I continue? 20 West. Do I continue 20 West? Or do I go 75, 85? What do I do? How do I get around this bend? What lane should I be in? It's the typical thing. And then when you get down by Georgia Tech, you're like, oh, what do I do? Do I do 75 Express, 85 Express? Which way do I go? Do I get off right here? Do I get off at 14? What should I do? Do I switch lanes? How I look? It is it has been that way for decades. However, it is still the funniest drive to me, because the folks that know where they're going be looking at everybody else like, you don't know about this. You didn't look at this. You didn't Google map this. You, you ain't checked this out. Oh, you need to go up to Marietta. You were gonna take 285 and go around the back way. We going 90 D. We in 80. We hit 90 in that curve. We coming around the curve. We doing 90. I know I'm doing 90. Why you don't know where you going? Them two lanes about to die. You about to cut over in front of me. Let me get on over, because you don't even know what you're doing. We about to hit it. We about to hit it. If you ever been to Atlanta and you get on the highway talking about you gonna do 70, your car don't go over 75, you gonna kill everybody. You gonna die. You gonna die. If you ain't doing 80 when you try to get on 20, if you ain't doing 80 getting, especially if you getting on up where the trucks coming in at, you gonna get ran over. I'm trying to tell you. Don't come down there to Atlanta talking about you you're on your last strike. That may not be the place for you. Your last, that may not be the place for you. The DMV is easy. Because you know what? In Virginia, and even in Maryland, y'all highway still say 55. Y'all still say 55. 50 in some spots. In Virginia, 50 in some spots. I'm like, who the hell is doing 50 on the highway? We ain't doing that. All right, let's go.
Investment program. After environmental clearance in 2021, the state moved forward with procurement, ultimately selecting SR 400 Peach Partners, an international consortium, to deliver the project. The financial agreements reached closure in August 2025, marking the largest public-private partnership deal ever executed in Georgia's history. The State Route 400 Express Lanes expansion covers approximately 16 miles of highway, stretching from the North Springs MARTA station in Fulton County to just north of McFarland Parkway in Forsyth County. Along this stretch, The
All right.
project.
So you get the idea, right? So I'm gonna tell you why this is important. Because we're gonna talk about it a little bit, and we're gonna talk about how this has actually kept a lot of people from making money. It's not just the skill sets; it's also the commute, and it's also the area in which you can get employment from. So let's talk about it. So I couldn't find the original video that I was looking at, but this is the racist history of Atlanta Transit. Now, don't get it wrong. This is not the only place that probably has the same type of mentality. I don't want that transit system in our neighborhood or stretching to our neighborhoods, because what is that going to bring? That's going to bring people that don't want to do, that don't want to work, that don't want to do X, Y, and Z. So again, this is, again, what I'm talking about is, not only are you fighting against education, not only are you fighting against the understanding where money is going, and I hope I bring you that insight of where money is going, so that you can get the right skill set. And again, all of this that I'm talking about is about having a strategy. You're not gonna do it by just doing it. You have to have a strategy, right? So picking where you live is important, just as much as picking the company in which you work for, and the city in where you live. So a lot of people like to say, "Oh, I got to be around black people all the time because I just don't feel comfortable around other folks." Yes and no. The opportunities that are paying you the 3 and 4 and $500,000, are they in those major cities, or are they in the outskirts, or are they in predominantly white cities and neighborhoods? Or have they been gentrified as well? And that's the question. That's the trick. That's the trick, right? So you got, again, let's recap. What 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 your career field is going to be, following where the money is at, understanding understanding the different sectors of where that money is flowing, right? We already talked about it: edge computing, quantum computing, AI, high performance computing, bare metal, data centers, understanding infrastructure. I'm telling you, infrastructure is not going anywhere. Hell, if you don't believe me, look at how many data centers they're building. That's all infrastructure based. And the other piece to this is also understanding where the cities who are getting this money, where in those cities are companies putting their money into, where, right? Not just, this is the most expensive zip code to live in. Nobody cares about the most expensive zip code if the jobs in that zip code don't correlate to you being able to live in that zip code. So again, where do you live? What does your commute look like? Right? All this affects health, time, studying, family time, extracurricular activities for yourself. It all runs together. All right. So let's go and look at this.
Relax, enjoy the ride.
I had never heard this song before.
Atlanta is one of the fastest growing cities in the United States. Since 1960, the metro region has grown from under 800,000 to over 6.2 million, an eightfold increase. By 2050, that number is expected to reach 8 million. One thing that has not kept up with the city's growth is its dismal transit infrastructure. Instead, Atlanta has become a commuting nightmare, with studies ranking it as the riskiest city for drivers and the third most congested in the nation. By 1998, this had caused so much air pollution that Atlanta failed to meet minimum standards for air quality, leading to a total freeze of federal transportation funding. In the nearly 30 years since, little has changed. The American Lung Association gave Atlanta a resounding F for smog in 2025. Yet despite the dangerous roads, endless traffic, and poisoning of the air, Atlantans continue to shun public transit.
It's just an objective observation that the statistics bear it out.
All right, so let's talk about this little thing right here. This one from 5 months ago. This, if I'm not mistaken, was the bio lab up off of 20, where it melted, melted handles, and people had to stay in the house and was getting trickles in their throat. And the reason why, I was there, and me and my mom was talking about it. So not only in our areas do we have to worry about the commute from our areas, we have to worry about what gets put in our areas, right? We don't get the $400,000 jobs that's put in that area. We get the bio lab where they're doing chemistry assessments and stuff, and it's blown up 2 or 3 times. We get the truck driving location where they come in pulling in their rigs, or the dumpster sites where they want to dump waste and trash. We're not getting the 300 and 400, and I'm bringing, and you're like, what this got to do with Linux? It has to do everything with how you see yourself and how you put yourself in a situation where you can do what you want. That's what I'm getting at. How do you put yourself in a situation where you can do what you want? Go live where you want. Be free of things, right? Now I can't stop racist neighbors and I can't stop racist people, but we sure as hell can not have to suffer. Let me say it that way. I don't have to worry about my property appraiser coming in because I'm in a predominantly black neighborhood and giving me $20,000 or $30,000, right? All right, so let's go.
Atlantans continue to shun public transit.
It's just an objective observation that the statistics bear it out. I mean, census reports say that only about 2 to 3% of Fulton County residents ever ride rail to work.
The Metropolitan Atlanta Rapid Transit Authority, or MARTA, continues to see its use decline year over year, with just a paltry 64 million trips in 2024, a fraction of ridership in similarly sized cities. Only 1.5% of commuters use public transportation to get to work in 2023, opting instead to sit in an average of 32 minutes of traffic each way. How did it get to this point? Why is so little being done about it? And why do so many people oppose expanding public transit? In order to answer that, it's best to start from the very beginning. "1959 is a good place to start. Following in the wake of the Montgomery bus boycott, Reverend William Holmes Borders and other community leaders succeeded in challenging Atlanta's segregated buses. However, white ridership plummeted almost immediately, as many white Atlantans refused to use the newly integrated buses. In fact, many refused to live in an integrated city at all. The next 2 decades saw a massive wave of white flight,
Let's go back.
decades saw a massive wave of white flight. In fact, many.
All right. So when we talk about this flight, we talk about now the opportunities also migrate as well, because who owns the companies? We're looking to keep our money in our companies. You drive, like I said this before, you drive to their locations and get their gas and spend money in their neighborhoods and go to their Walmarts and go to their Targets and their grocery stores, and then you may come home. You go to the gym in their neighborhood because you know you're gonna be too tired when you get back home. So your life is over there, but you can't afford to live there. Your life is over there, you can't afford to live there, and what they have in their neighborhood is not in your neighborhood. Nor do you have a neighborhood similar to it that you want to move to where you feel comfortable and okay either. So when we talk about these things, I'm talking about it in a perspective of how can I still make money, still live where I want to, and on top of that save, right? And by the way, have a healthy after active life after work, right?
Refuse to live in an integrated city at all. The next 2 decades saw a massive wave of white flight, with over half of Atlanta's white population hastily moving up to the suburbs north of the city.
Well, I hate to leave, really, but I feel like that I'm out of place, living in this community.
A lot of people who are trying to stop the so-called white exodus to the suburbs say that their biggest problem is changing the attitudes of the people. Do you feel that your attitude could be changed to make you want to stay here and live among blacks?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I'm not prejudiced. I just as soon, live here as live anywhere else. But I don't want to be the only white family living here. You see what I mean?
This racist backlash was the backdrop for MARTA's initial planning in the 1960s. When it first came to a vote in 1965, the 96% white suburbs of Cobb County refused participation. Later, in the 1971 referendum on funding and implementation, Clayton and Gwinnett counties, both of which were 95% white, also withdrew from MARTA. None of the white suburbs participate in the system, leaving only the majority black areas of Fulton and DeKalb. This
All
is
right,
the
so
root of
I'm
MARTA's.
gonna go back right here because that's an important piece to what I'm talking about. The reason why you only see, because this is how it started, you can only commute in internally in the black neighborhoods in the black cities. You want to go out to Gwinnett and work, it wasn't no bus. You was gonna commute. You was gonna get in the car. You was gonna commute. Oh, you said you want to go out here to Douglasville. You want to go up here to Forsyth, Cobb County? Your ass is gonna drive. And yes, we do have jobs out here. And yes, we do have this, that, and the other out here. So you're gonna get in your car and you're gonna commute because you need that money. You become a slave to the system if you really want to talk about it. Because you gotta pay, you gotta get your kids through school. And this is where it starts to get into that, okay, how do I get my kids a good education? And I don't want to have to commute to go pick up my child from childcare. Why can't I just pick up my child from childcare that's out here by my job? I can't afford it. And I don't trust them either. Right? So again, when you look at cities, look at cities for their transportation. Look at these cities for the ability to commute. Say you don't have a car, you don't want to ride your car, driving your car one day, you want to hop on a train and just go. What does the commute look like? What does that look like for you? What are your options? All right.
None of the white suburbs participate in the system, leaving only the majority black areas of Fulton and DeKalb. This is the root of MARTA's failure. What resulted was a transit system that existed as a closed loop within Black areas of the city, deliberately cutting off its users from the suburbs.
The suburban counties created their own separate and unequal suburban transit systems, bus systems, to keep from being part of MARTA, because MARTA was perceived as being Black, and they didn't want any part of it.
In the decades following, economic development centered on those areas, particularly in the North Atlanta metro. Black Atlantans without vehicles, accounting for an estimated 10% of all Black households, were excluded from all those jobs and opportunities. Moreover,
Did you hear that? Excluded from those opportunities. Why are you excluded from those opportunities? So when you go apply for your next job, or you do a search on the next job, find out where that job is located at. And then also look at where the company that's doing the hiring is located at as well. Look at where they're at. Then go look at the median average income in that of that particular county that they sit in. And then look at what the population, look at the demographics in that county as well, or in that zip code. All right. Let's get I rolled it back so you can hear it again.
Black Atlantans without vehicles, accounting for an estimated 10% of all Black households, were excluded from all those jobs and opportunities. Moreover, the MARTA board broke many of its key promises, especially those made to the Black community.
It is a gimmick to fool the poor people. It is also clearly understood that the powers of the 10-man committee of MARTA has unlimited power. MARTA does not include a single grassroots poor Black or white bus ride.
One was to pass a zoning reform that restricted high-density development to the areas along newly constructed rail lines.
Rapid transit will change the pattern of development we have in the metropolitan area.
Given Atlanta's sprawl.
All right, the equalizer, you said Arlington, Virginia, was just up there, lived there, know what it is. Anyway, 59 to 60% white, 10.5% Asian, 8.5 to 9.4% Black, 2 or more races, 5.6 to 11.35. 78% educated and have a bachelor's degree. The average commute time is 26.6 minutes. The workforce is considered one of the most educated in the world. The median household is 140,000. Take that and compare that to somebody in PG, and also look at what jobs are in PG County. You can go. I can go with you. Fort Belfort, all that. We can do all the bases out there. Langley, 295. You can do all of that, right? But I guarantee you, most of those people that live in those predominantly Black areas commute to work. They commute to Virginia. They commute to DC. Or they may commute to a base. It is not a job paying $250,000-$300,000 in their backyard. And I could be wrong. It could have been things that moved in, but I'm pretty much think I'm on point.
Would justify the investment in rail, encouraging revitalization of those areas and bringing in new jobs. Instead, planners caved to pressure from the business community, who opposed any such restrictions.
Completely unrealistic in a free and open economy society that we have. We cannot slow the growth, which we just have to find ways to accommodate to the growth.
The result was that high-paying office jobs proliferated out into the northern suburbs, where office space was cheaper. Another point of contention was service to Atlanta's public housing developments, whose residents had the greatest need for public transportation. In particular, prior to the referendum, MARTA authorities promised to extend rail service to Perry Homes, an isolated project home to 3,000 people in desperate need of access to urban services. After winning enough support to pass in Fulton and DeKalb, these promises were promptly ignored for over a decade.
There is no justification for building 5 points north to Doraville before we build Perry Homes and 5 points south of the airport first. But Perry Homes has got to be in there.
So let's talk about this because Atlanta sits in Fulton County, and let's give you some demographics of now, right? So Fulton County demographics. I want to know who is the largest employer of Fulton County. The largest employer in Fulton County is Delta Airlines and Emory University. Those are the largest employers of Fulton County, Georgia. Delta has 34,500. Now, this is a conversation that I was having with a couple of folks. Is most of your gate attendants and so forth and so on that you see are predominantly black, but behind the scenes is predominantly white. So let's be clear on what you see and what you don't see. The second thing that you have to also take into account, if the two largest employers are Delta Airlines and Emory in that county, where's everybody else working at? Where are they commuting to? They're commuting out of their county to go work, right? So let me look at median income. The median income in Fulton County is 50,000 as of 2023. It says let me take it back. It says one says 50 it says 20,000. I mean individual is 50,000. Household is 91,000. Let's go back. So the household median income is 94,000, right? Individually it's 50. All right, let's look at let me see. We'll go here and we can read together. Oh, let me get out of that screen there. Oh, where'd it go? I just had it. Uh-oh. I don't know where I took it to. Oh, where I go? Let me go find it again. I just had it. Where did I drop it to? See? No. No. I don't know what I did with it. I just had it open. Lost it. Yay. Dag nabbit. I'll have to research it again. All right, let's go. For the county. Is this no. Put the Georgia behind it. Here we go. All right. Here we go. All right. So what is the median income of household in why is it doing that? All right, here we go. 91,000 is the median from 2019 household. Individual is 50. All right, so let me go blow this up so you guys have it. All right, so the median income vary by geography due to the range of factors, differences in cost of living, local job markets, economic opportunities, such as presence of high-paying industries or declining sectors, regional policies, access to education, and variations and in economic development can also play a role in shaping incomes across locations. Again, when I talk about this, they keep telling you all go get a trade because the trade is going to make you a millionaire. That's what they tell you, right? They're not why they're not telling you that these jobs that are coming up in these areas are going to be paying this and we're looking for this skill set. Why are they not telling you that? What is wrong? Why don't you hear that message? Why are you not hearing that being said? Why is no one talking about, hey, these jobs are coming in this area. You need to go get these skill set. No, they telling you to go get to be a plumber, HVAC, this, that, and other. But why? Why are they telling you that? Why is that being advertised to you? You got to ask the questions. Why is that being advertised to you? What is the endowment of Yale and Harvard and so forth? What is their endowment? Drop that in the chat. I already know what it is, but I just want you to go look it up, because do you really think that people are going to stop going to Yale? I don't hear nobody telling their children at Yale to stop what you're doing and go do HVAC. No, they were like, go buy some HVAC companies and create you a private equity fund. Son, I help you fund that. Daughter, I help you fund that. And then you could go buy a bunch of HVACs. You can go buy a bunch of pool routes, but you would not be doing da 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 da. It's over 1 billion. It's like billions. I think they're like 40 billion or something like that. $56.9 billion for Harvard endowment. Do you think Harvard is going to stop having people come in and go to school? Yale, your Notre Dames, your Penn States. Think about it. What message are you receiving and they sending to you? I mean, you got to think outside the box. I'm not saying college is for everybody, but damn, I don't know what certificate you gonna get that you ain't gonna have to read. Like, I don't know. You're gonna have to read, right? Median household income in Fulton County, Georgia, 91,500 from 2019 to 2023. Right. And then they go to show what it was for the US and what that looks like. Now, with that being said, with Delta and Emory being the largest employers in those said areas, you're probably going to see people working in IT in Delta, working in IT at Emory. Right? The DevSecOps engineer at Delta gets paid approximately $119,000 a year. The exact figure can vary depending on the source and includes a base salary plus bonuses, and that's just an average, right? That's just me doing just a quick look. Right? So when I'm looking for a job, I'm looking at not only where they're located, because where they're located is going to determine if I can get another job after this job crashes and burns, right? In that particular city. What is the household in that area, right? Is it nice? Am I going to be comfortable? Am I going to be okay? If I leave work at 7 o'clock, am I gonna get jumped after work? All right. Also says compared to Georgia as a whole, Fulton County had more households in the 200,000 or more income range and fewer in less than the $50,000 range. Why? Again, Emory Delta, Emory doctors, right? You got to think about who's the employer in those areas, and then you got to also think about the where they're located at. Let's not forget, if I'm in a centralized location where I can shoot out 20-30 minutes to a job and come back, I'm okay with doing that versus I may have to shoot from across from the east side to the north side. It may be an hour, hour and a half commute. I don't want to do that. All right. Let's get back to it.
Therefore, the action the MARTA board took today was a real signal that the people of Atlanta effectively have been left out of the equation insofar as serious decisions by this authority, which is not accountable to the voters, is concerned.
They made the same promise during MARTA's 1985 expansion before promptly breaking it again. By the time of Perry Holmes' demolition in 1999, they were still without transit service. Let's jump to the present day. Atlanta's present gridlock nightmare stems from the forced decoupling of the suburbs from the city. The white and wealthy suburbs exist in a parasitic relationship with the urban core. They cannot possibly exist in their walled garden of detached single-family homes without depending on the city for jobs and services. As such, they commute in by day, causing congestion and pollution, and then leave at night to return to their isolated communities. Despite all the sitting in traffic that this entails, many people seem happy to make that trade-off if it means living in a whites-only neighborhood. Dr. Jason Henderson of San Francisco State University refers to this phenomenon as secessionist automobility. In his words, automobility enabled physical secession to outer suburban areas while simultaneously providing a means of travel through spaces inhabited by Blacks, all without having to interact with Blacks. MARTA did have two promising developments in the 2010s. First, Clayton County voted in 2014 to join the Metropolitan Transit System. This begins to repair the damage done by the original secession of Clayton, Cobb, and Gwinnett counties from MARTA. However, it should be noted that this does little to alleviate Atlanta's transit segregation. Clayton County was one of the areas most intensely affected by white flight. In 1965, it was 95% white. Now, the area is 73% Black. White suburbs continue to vote down initiatives for joining MARTA. Both Cobb and Gwinnett counties rejected ballot referendums this past November with overwhelming margins. To make matters worse, MARTA authorities have already begun walking back promises made to the people of Clayton County. The proposed commuter rail line was scrapped in 2022, despite Clayton residents approving a sales tax increase based on the promise that 50% would go towards rail investment. The long tradition of broken promises continues, and if nothing is done, more may be on the way. The other important development of the 2010s was the adoption of the More MARTA plan in 2016, for which voters approved a $2.6 billion investment over 40 years. It has now been nearly a decade with almost nothing to show for it. The program contained
So what they're telling you is you Blacks will stay in your neighborhoods and you will not commute out to where we're at. And if you want to get a job and you want to work out here with those jobs, you're going to need to get in the car and get in your car and come out here and commute. So that means now you got to account for tires, gas, accidents, insurance, the whole nine. You would not do what you want to. And you know what? You can't even afford to stay where we're at. You can't afford a house in this neighborhood. And you know what? We don't want you. That's why we have these HOAs. That's what you're up against. I know it sounds harsh. I know. So I went and looked up DeKalb County's largest employers in DeKalb County. The largest employers in DeKalb County is Emory Health, Delta Airlines, UPS, AT&T Mobility, DeKalb Medical, and Children's Healthcare of Atlanta. Those are the largest employers, right? More than half of the Fortune 500 companies with the presence in Atlanta also have DeKalb County, the major employers, Delta Airlines, UPS. You guys that are working at UPS, you're probably driving and delivering packages. A route manager. You're not working UPS in headquarters working in an IT department, maybe. DeKalb Medical Center, Children's Health Care. This is why you see nurses in these areas. Nurses, healthcare. Again, these are the jobs that we typically do. We typically are in. This is why COVID affected us so much. I'm just pointing out what we do and telling you how we can be better. Healthcare, trucking, manual labor, that's where we're at. That's what we go after. Those are the low-hanging fruits. And I'm not saying nurses is not hard, but most people I know that do nursing, like, I don't want to do that shit no more after about 5 years. They're like, I don't want to lift another body. I don't want to wipe another booty. I don't want to do none of that. All right? Truck driving. They don't want to do it no more. They're tired of doing it. They're tired of sitting in that traffic, commuting around to deliver products and packages. AT&T Mobility. If you ain't working at headquarters, you working at an AT&T branch. You may be doing some cable installs. You may be doing some Wi-Fi installs. That's your bread and butter. Not knocking it. But again, I ask this question, how long can you do it? How long can you climb a ladder? How long can you go through a crawl space? Right? And then we're talking about DeKalb Medical, Emory Healthcare, and Children's Healthcare. Well, we already know what that is. Right? Those are your employers. So if you don't want to commute outside of your county, this is what you're up against. Let me go. Let me look at Emory Healthcare IT department. Jobs. Let's see what it pulled back. Let me see. Let's go. Here go Emory Healthcare right here. Career area. Student admissions, behavioral therapists, information technology, and I'm just gonna hit search and see what it pulls back. All right, so here we go for Emory. Enterprise administrator lead, business intelligence, senior technical applications, IT field services technician, Epic Cadence, business intelligence. All right. IT project manager. $55, $57 an hour. That's at the midpoint. So 41 to 55. That's where you at. So let's go and let's hit our calculator. And let's just say we at 55 an hour times 2280. Is it 2280? No, it's 2080. 2088, I think it is. 114 a year. That's what you're at. That's what your max is on that one. It says hourly midpoint, but an hourly minimum. So I'm assuming it may go higher. But that's what you're looking at. 2080. I'm gonna go back. 55 times 2080. Yeah. 114. Yeah. That's where we're at. What you gonna do at this point? Do you do what? Where are you going? What you gonna do? Where you living at? All right. So that's that one. Let's finish this off and get out of it and go on to our next stuff. I just want to put it in perspective of when you're picking a city, this is what it looks like. You said I have my first interview for a assistant admin job on Thursday after passing the RHCSA. I told you, stick to the plan. Don't deviate. Don't go off and do Java React unless you need it for your job. Stick to the plan. Congratulations.
Proposed improvements, of which 17 were chosen as priority projects. Only one, the bus route in Summerhill, has even broken ground. MARTA has also begun rolling back its promises in its usual fashion. First, they announced the scrapping of 2 light rail extensions in favor of more bus routes. Then, the MARTA board indicated that it was expecting a budget shortfall and had decided to only, quote, actively pursue 9 of the 17 projects, not even naming which 9. Of all the rail projects, the only one that could feasibly be completed this decade is the East Side Trail streetcar extension. However, despite having already completed all pre-planning, investing over $20 million to date, and having set aside $230 million for construction, on March 13th, 2025, Mayor Andre Dickens pulled support for the project, which was slated to break ground later this year. He claims to want to prioritize an extension to the South Side Trail, for which pre-planning work has not yet begun. This process took 8 years for the East Side Trail. Notably, this announcement came 2 days after the mayor launched his re-election campaign. Business elites in the East Side have expressed opposition to the extension, unwilling to tolerate the temporary disruptions brought by construction. Clearly, the mayor seems to be caving to special interests to further his re-election campaign, throwing Atlantans under the bus.
All right, so you gotta take the risk of moving to Missouri. It sounds like it may be in St. Louis. It sounds like that might be a Lockheed Martin, Raytheon, Boeing type of situation. Sounds like not a bad move. They got money going into it. Just find out where you're gonna be at. That's my advice.
This is currently the most pressing fight in Atlanta transit. If the mayor has his way and the project is scrapped for political reasons despite being completely ready to go, transit in Atlanta would be set back decades.
It's already set back.
If you care about equity, the environment, the city of Atlanta, or even if you just hate traffic, then now is the time to push for a better future for our city. Call the mayor's office, attend city council meetings, and spread the word about the fight for a connected Atlanta.
Now, here's the question. How much money do you think Black people have missed out on by not having a rail system to take them around the city to where the jobs at? Because you damn sure ain't going up Georgia 400. But let's say that did happen. Maybe we can get us one of these.
Pivotal's electric vehicle takeoff and landing aircraft, or eVTOL, looks a little different from the rest of the market. It's tiny with just one seat and weighs less than some motorcycles. You don't even need a pilot's license to fly it. It was designed that.
Now we can get us one of these, but please don't put 24s on it. Make it black and gold, mat it out, shade tinted. Throw some sounds in there while you flying in the air. You got speakers on the side. Don't do that to it. Let it be.
On purpose.
We went down the ultralight path because, frankly, it was not as regulated. We could iterate quickly, go through design iterations, test, build, test, build, test, build.
But that advantage comes with trade-offs, limiting power, range, and commercial uses. This is the tech behind eVTOLs. An eVTOL has 2 main differences from a traditional plane, and it's all in the name. The first is in how it takes off and lands.
You don't need a lot of room to take off or land. For traditional aircrafts, they need a long runway to take off and generate lift on their wings, on their airfoils from getting speed this way. And a VTOL aircraft actually can use the propellers to generate lift in a vertical way.
That's just like a helicopter, but that's where the similarities end.
For a helicopter, so if you lost your main propeller, you basically wouldn't have any power to generate lift on the aircraft. For us, we have 8 propellers on the aircraft, and you could lose any one and you would still be able to fly the aircraft.
These aircraft are also electric. Pivotals is powered by 8 huge batteries.
You don't have to worry about all of the main.
Powered by 8 huge batteries. You're right. And they're gonna pull up playing computer love. It's gonna they're gonna be like, I'm gonna swing by, pick up groceries. You babe, just come outside. I just want to swing by and see you. You see me? You see me, girl? I came over here, all the way over here, risking my battery and my life for you, baby. Love you, girl. Love you to pieces, baby. Reese's Pieces. You my dream, baby. Love the, you know I love the way. Come outside, girl. Come outside and look. Come outside and look. Look at me. Look. You see me? I already know what it's gonna be like, babe. Babe, look. They said I can't open this because I might get in trouble and stuff like that. But babe, I'm gonna drop my love to you. Watch me drop these flowers to you, girl. I already know what it's gonna be like. It's $190,000 now. Give it about 10 years, everybody gonna have one. 10 years, everybody gonna be. I'm finna hop in. I'm coming to get you. Yeah. Cutie pie. You're the reason why. That's right. That's what's gonna happen. They're gonna that's what's gonna happen. They're gonna put like, oh, we're going to the comedy show tonight, babe. We ain't driving, we flying. Babe, I got the VIP. We're gonna be landing on top of the roof. They got a whole little section up there. You know how we do it. We got a whole little section up there. We got all the EVs up there. We ain't even gotta go downstairs. We're gonna come in with our joint blasting. Computer love. You know, that's how we gonna do. I already know we're gonna fly in. They're gonna be like, who that coming down playing that music? Oh, you didn't even know you could do that. Yeah, me and my boys, we got a little shop. We started this little business on the side. We could hook you up. We taking orders now. Blah 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 blah. That I already know. We already ordered our food from the iPad from the so when we get there, our food is already on the way to the table. Drinks is popping, everything looking good. My baby looking good, she looking fly. My man looking good, smelling good, back straight, standing up right. You already it's a one-seater right now, D. It's a one-seater right now. It's gonna be a two-seater because we're gonna make it a two-seater. We're gonna get 2 of them, attach them together, and make it a two-seater. I already know. I already know how we do.
That comes with
That
engine
thing gonna be
maintenance
fly.
for a traditional gasoline engine or a diesel engine or even a jet engine. Also far less moving parts from something like a jet engine.
The company also designed it with fewer parts in mind.
Most eVTOL construction that I've reviewed in detail are far, far more complex. And that creates additional cost. It creates additional weight.
I said we all go out and get us one of these. Pivotal. 190. That's right. We pulling up. It's his and hers. I can see it now pulling up to the doggy park. Fella's gonna be pulling in like, yeah, me and my dog, we riding. I took him over to see the city of Atlanta. I took him over to see the sights and stuff like that. Place to charge up at. Little gas station up there serving food, snacks. Little doggy park, little doggy retreat. Yep. I'm telling you, if this takes off and it get affordable for us, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. What? I can fly to work? I can fly to work. It'd be quicker for you to fly to work than it would be to drive in Atlanta. You charge up, you got a route that you take to charge. Maybe your flight time is 30 minutes. Shit, you charge, you sat down, you charge, or you got a portable charger, or maybe you done added your solar panels to it, little lightweight solar panels. It's all good. We gonna be there. Some idiots were trying to become a part of the Mile High Club, and it's a Mile High. I got my own landing pad, babe. I stay in the apartment building where we got the landing pad at the top. I got my own little apartment, baby. Come on, come through. You want me to come get you? You don't feel like driving to my house? I know it's late. Just be on the roof when I get there. So I ain't gotta wait. I just come down, scoop you, and we fly back. We take flights around here. You my babe. Hey, baby. All right, what's the latest and greatest out here? A skill gap is turning cleaning for the rich into $100,000 jobs. Go clean for the rich. That's another job that's never gonna stop. It's cleaning somebody's house. There's never not gonna be a demand for that. Never not. I don't know if you've seen these videos. I've been watching them lately.
This
Pull it over. Pull it over. I don't think you all gonna be able to hear this one. I don't think you can hear shorts. That's what I'm thinking, but I don't know. Let me know if y'all can hear this.
The woman who lives in this filthy flat is beautiful. She wears nice clothes, she smells great, and her hair and makeup were always done. If you saw her walking down the street, you'd never imagine her home was filled with moldy food and maggots. You definitely wouldn't guess that the bedroom her and her daughter sleep in every night looks like this. The reason I'm mentioning this is because every time I post an extreme free deep clean video, I get asked the same question, which is, where is their friends and family? Why has no one stepped in to help them? The truth is that a lot of people who live like this hide it from their loved ones. They don't invite people round, feel isolated by their situation, and they're afraid that if they reach out, they'll be judged. The woman who lives in this filthy flat is the woman who lives in this filthy flat is beautiful.
I mean, and people get paid for this now. People getting paid to clean these places now. Pull this over. Just saying, this is another way to make money. It may not be how you want to do
Hello,
it.
guys. So this cleaning was really a scary one because the day before I got a text message that said something completely insane. And I'll tell you all about in a bit. But first, let
What
me
do you
introduce
do? You
myself.
get up,
Hi.
you're like, oh, I'm make me some eggs today, and you crack the eggs and you just toss it. You just toss the egg, you just toss the egg. That's what you do.
I'm Mauri Katarina. I'm the best cleaner in the world. And that's why I clean people.
Okay, ladies, are you spending the night in a man's house that look like this? He cute. He paid for everything. Y'all been on several dates. You just ain't been over to his house. It's been 3 months. Everything going great. You get to his house. Are you spending the night? Or will you clean it? Will you clean it? It's yes or no. Are you staying at Boo House? Fellas, you've been dating a girl, everything is great. She cooked for you in your house. She come over, she take care of you, she clip your toenails, she give you manis and petties, she wash your back. Are you, when you get to her house, are you spending the night? Fellas, I one said if she clean it, I will keep her. But if you get to her house and her house look like this, are you gonna keep her? You going to the doctor the same day. You gonna break up with him? He done treated you all nice. You gonna break up with him? She washing your back because she over at your house. She taking care of you. She showing you love. She's like, you my man, you my baby, you my boo. Scooby Dooby Doo. Why can't you let that woman love you? Now you judging her. Let's look at it. Let's take a look. I just got questions because it says cleaning 100,000. Can you do a job like this? If all your jobs like this, you had to go in or was 100,000, you was getting paid 100,000 up. Can you do this?
Homes for free around the world because I love cleaning so.
Fellas, can you be on a mattress like this? Fellas, can you bump? I don't see nothing wrong. Well, little bump and grind. Fellas, can you do it? As long as there's no rats, say you in there like well, you can do it. My leg, you gonna stay learning Linux? I'm just saying. Okay, what if you flip the mattress? It may not look that bad on the other side. Every bacteria, virus, waiting for you to cross the threshold. Oh,
So much. Look at the bed. This is insane. If something is, this is. And today I'm not cleaning alone. I have two of my lovely followers with me because I was too scared to do this cleaning on my own. So yeah.
So I don't never understand why they don't never have on no hazmats. And I would have to have extra clothes because them clothes couldn't come back to my car. I would have to change clothes somewhere in the building because they can't go in the car with me and then I gotta toss them. Pick that mattress up at your own risk.
But I'm starting with this lovely, lovely, dirty bathroom. But guess what, guys? Next, I'm heading to Texas and I'll be there in January and February 2025.
See, her
and
skin
I'm
is
so
exposed.
excited.
Her skin
So
is
if you
exposed.
know
Ain't no way in
somebody,
the hell
anybody there
my
who
skin
needs
gonna be
free home
exposed.
cleaning,
You see when she bent over, her back was exposed, girl. No, you get home, it be done attached to your back, and then you be sitting up there, and we coming up here like this. Uh-uh.
send me a message through my website and you can find the link in the description or do this email address.
Here's a question: how many times you gonna clean this room? Because the first time is just the initial dirt. You got to clean it what by 5 times?
on the screen. So I'll be in Dallas
Look
for
how
a
she
month
cleaning that.
and
Look
then
at that.
Austin for
You
another
gotta
month.
scrape that.
And I'm cleaning in those areas. And remember, the cleaning is completely for free. And for me, the dirtier, the better. Because I love
Now,
dirtiness.
okay, so
But now,
all right, so here's the other question. How much does she get paid from YouTube for these videos? We laughing. She out here, she cleaning, and she doing it for free. How much is she getting paid from YouTube? What can she put on a mask? Using the Swiffer is insane.
talk about how I ended up here cleaning and what has really been going on in this apartment. I mean, it's full of trashes, and look at the walls. They are all moldy. What is going on? And I think at this point, it's not even a healthy home to live in.
And she is excited. She is like, She's excited. She's smiling.
We have to work.
Welcome to Tam after dark. These are the things that I look at. I know it had nothing to do with Linux or not, but it do. But again, Tam after dark. Just another, like you say, you could go get another job cleaning, right? This is just another thing. Hey, if y'all want to do HVAC, you might as well clean.
What we got, I guess. So this time it was actually a social worker who asked for my help. Because people often ask me who reaches out to me, whether it's people living in these conditions, their relatives, or someone else. Well, sometimes it's the residents themselves, sometimes their family members, and sometimes, like in this case, it's a social worker. So I remember the social worker called me and told me about
What
this.
social worker is this? It's scared straight to Linux. You too can live like this. I'm trying to keep you off of Snap. I'm trying to keep you off of Snap and keep your house clean. That's all I'm trying to do.
Apartment, and actually 2 apartments in the smaller town here. It's like 300 kilometers, like 200 miles maybe from the town, from the city I live in. So yeah, and she told me they need my help. This is like a residential area, not apartment building or apartment complex, but a small yard with 2 residents who needed help. And they live about 50, maybe 20 meters apart, so very close to each other.
All right, let's go to the sink.
Usually I'm
Look at that sink.
cleaning this tiny small villages or somewhere like this. So I don't have like a toothbrush. That's interesting.
Can you brush your teeth in this sink? Can you wash your face in this sink? I'm just asking, can y'all spend the night? I'm just saying.
It was beautiful. So many times these places don't have even a hotel, so I'm just sleeping anywhere. I don't care. So at this point, my hotel was booked and the cleaning day got closer and closer. Oh man, I love cleaning this sink. It's so beautiful. I want to rinse it. That's the best part. Okay, I don't know if the scrubbing is the best part or this. Oh, but it still have some grime left. But that doesn't bother me at all because I'm gonna scrub more. But yeah, the cleaning day came closer
Don't be
and closer,
struggling to
and I
breathe.
knew I had to text the
Hold on,
residents. Like,
let's
no
get to the
big deal.
toilet. Let's go to the toilet.
And I text him the same thing, or I start like typing the same thing to him when this conversation popped up. Or actually, it wasn't a conversation because the man or this number had texted me multiple times already. And the texts were, I would say, horrible.
How you get that toilet
He
clean?
was texting me like, when are you coming here? Because I want to do this and that to you. And blah, 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 like dirty things like that. I was just staring at this text, and I wasn't sure
She
that I
didn't get
had
that toilet
blocked him
clean.
because I remember when I was in
D, why
London,
your face all
he
frowned
was
up?
constantly calling me and sending
Yep,
me
she's
these
earning
texts.
millions from
Uh,
showcasing these jobs. Earning millions. Let me see how many she got 4.54 million followers. 4.54 million. So you asked why we're watching this. Let me help you out. Let's go back to the original. A skills gap is turning cleaning for the rich into the $100,000. Here you go. 100,000. Right? That's for the rich. But then that's two extremes. I'm just saying, hey, if you ain't gonna go learn Linux and you're not gonna do HVAC, at least you can clean. At least you can clean. I watch these videos because they crack me up because I just be looking at the comments. Let me help you out.
This is honestly one of my all-time favorite cleanings, and you're about to see why. The residents here haven't stepped foot in the kitchen for over 3 whole years, and during that time, the fridge door has stayed completely shut. Um, Almost like it's guarding some kind of secret. And well, today, guys, I'm gonna be the one to open it and find out what's been hiding inside all this time. Um, and that's not all, because this cleaning also comes with a wild backstory.
She got a mask on this time.
About how the landlord, who had actually built this house together with her husband, found out to her absolute horror what the place had turned into. So now, let's clean.
This what a tenant left
Okay,
behind.
so I want to.
So when people ask me, do I want to rent out my house? This is the first thing I think. Hell no. I don't want to rent shit out. Well, you got to vet the tenant. F that. I don't want to vet nobody because that's what I think everybody gonna turn it into. I'm sorry.
They would just toss the used trashes straight into the kitchen. And I didn't ask why, but that's just how they did things. And the woman spent the entire day hanging out in the garage. So every now and then I'd wandered over there and chat with her. Okay, this might look like a really quick cleanup getting all these trashes out, but in reality, it actually took us a long time to haul it.
There's no way in the world I'd be going out there cleaning, especially with my hair. It was another one I was watching. She had, and it was roaches crawling on her and stuff like that. I'm like, that shit is nasty. But she's not the only one that has like the cleaning videos. It's a ton of them that go in and clean people houses and stuff like that. It just be super interesting to me because you can go from one extreme to another, right? Like I'm gonna tell you this lady, this is how she, I mean, she's married though. This lady is married, and then but this is how her house looks. Let me show it to you. See, clean. So look, Louise, how you doing? Appreciate you. What did you walk into? Never know. But she clean. But again, when we're talking about these jobs, again, skills gap, turning a cleaning for the rich into $100,000 job. So take it and run with it. All right, DeSantis, progressive. A refund nearly over $1 billion for Florida auto insurance and policyholders. I wonder if this is going to take off in other locations like North Carolina and Colorado, where there were fires and floods. And the reason why I'm talking about that is because the abandoning of insurance policies and so forth, right, for natural disasters, and then just in general for the household. All right, so let's go here. I wanted to talk about this from this perspective, not the fact of the security leak, but again, when you talk about you want to get a job, looking at how to secure AI, ML, and LLMs. That's just another route. That's something that you should be looking at. That's going to take off as well. That's going to be ongoing. We're talking the next 10 years as well, right? Zero trust. This is where we start getting into the zero trust and so forth and so on. So how do I secure my NCP server, my API keys, my API endpoints? How do I do that, right? All right. Here, I just wanted you to know this because this is just something I think that you should know. And I'll drop this in the chat, but here are the different API architectures. You see how I go from cleaning to now we're talking about APIs. I love it. All right. So again, SOAP, RESTful, GraphQL, gRPC, WebSocket, and Webhook. I typically see RESTful, GraphQL, and gRPC. And again, for webhook, we see webhooks generally if we're tying in a Jira or something like that. Shout out to Mr. Louise. How are you? I think you got my message right. For our meeting. You should have. I signed up on your calendar link. I'm gonna drop this down to you all so you all can read through this. This is one of the ones I think we need to do a deeper dive on as well. I'll let D put that out there. All right. So your inherited RAs. All right. So when we're talking about this, we're talking about in 2025, um, for those that inherit, because the boomers are leaving the workforce and also are dying. Let's just keep it honest here. Um, Inherited IRAs have a key tax advantage. Remember, you got 10 years to do your IRAs, right? Your RMDs. And by the end of them 10 years, you have to have that money taken, withdrawn, and it also count as earned income as well. So it could be and you need to have a tax strategy when you're looking at these things here, right? There is an inherited IRA change for 2025 that could trigger an IRS penalty of up to 25% before the year end. Basically, from reading this article, it was saying, hey, if you don't get your RMDs by the end of them 10 years or before, you could be charged a 25% penalty. That's what this article was stating. I didn't get really much out of that, but I just want to make sure that announcement. Here's the big one. The rise in families challenging invalid wills to secure inheritance. What is considered an invalid will? Remember, wills go to probate. Wills still take you to probate. Trusts don't. Put your stuff in a trust so you don't have to go to probate. Wills sound great, right? They do. And you still could have a will within your estate planning, but wills go to probate, trusts don't, right? When it's a trust, it's all said and done. You need to specify a beneficiary or an executor of your estate within your trust. A trust could have an entity be, you could leave stuff to an entity, but there still also need to be a beneficiary out of that. When looking at setting up a trust, do your due diligence. Make sure you understand what you're signing up for. Make sure you understand the property taxes and the estate taxes that you have to pay into and so forth. Make sure you understand that. All right. But wills go to court, so I can understand why these get contested because they go to probate court. Trust don't. Pizza Hut, popular pizza chain, is filing for bankruptcy, getting ready to close 68 locations. Who will save them? Who will save Pizza Hut? Would Domino's buy Pizza Hut? Would someone else buy Pizza Hut? Who's going to save them? Should Pizza Hut be bought by Red Lobster? Should that chain buy them? You say Shaq? Shaq already has a pizza thing. So would it be someone else? Right? Who's going to buy them? Right? See. Uh, it says Pizza Hut net worth isn't publicly reported in a subsidiary of the Yum Brands, which has a market capitalization of 35 billion. However, Pizza Hut's brand value is estimated to be 7.1 billion. It had $1 billion in revenue last year. Who is going to buy Pizza Hut? Are they just going to let the brand go die? I don't see that happening. I see somebody buying them, but who's going to buy them? And if you bought them, how would you rebrand them? How would you rebrand Pizza Hut? All right. Her 4,000 a month side hustle landed in Home Depot. Not bad for a niche product. Basically, she created a product and it landed in Home Depot. So check out her product. Let's see. Let me see what the name is of her product here. First of its kind measuring and marking tool, the Morgan Square. The Morgan Square, that's what it's called. So this landed her in Home Depot, where you could buy it off the shelf. I didn't see the opening of 30 Toys R Us. Mm-mm. That reminded me of the preacher that was talking today. So the Morgan Square, this square right here, landed her in Home Depot. So when you go there and you see it, cool to know that that's a black product that's in Home Depot. Right. All right. The next one. Jay-Z wing joint opens up in Orlando, statewide expansion. So he got a wing joint that he opened up, New York-based chicken wing chain that with some serious star power behind it has plans to open up in Florida, kicking off. Again, I tell y'all all the time, y'all keep opening up more chicken joints. I don't know how many more chicken joints we're gonna have. Chicken, hookah, and liquor. I don't know how much we're gonna have. We got chicken, hookah, liquor, a restaurant. I see it all the time. What else we gonna do? All right, and last but not least, the lottery. Oh, did it drop down? The lottery? It was more than that when I was looking at it earlier. It was more than 6 million. It was 300. It was 325. See, what is the Powerball and Mega Millions? What is that this evening? See, the Mega Millions is 714 million, and the Powerball is 344. All right. Don't forget to go pay your Mega Millions. I know. You have a better chance. You have a better chance in cleaning somebody's apartment. But again, go play. All right. So remember, like I said, most of your major cities, predominantly black cities, you are being left out of the equation when it comes to the jobs. The jobs are not in your areas. right? They're not in your locations. Let me see. All right, so I looked it up. PG County, Maryland. Um Majority of the people work at work for the federal government. However, the largest specific employer in the area is University of Maryland, NASA, and UPS. Majority of the folks work for the federal government, University of Maryland with 15,000, or NASA Goddard Flight Center, UPS, and Giant Food. Most of y'all commute over to Virginia. Or you work in the DC area, right? So if we do largest employer, what is Arlington? What is Virginia? What is that? What county is that? Let's consider Arlington County. Okay, cool. And I don't even want to look up Fairfax. That wouldn't be fair. Federal government is the largest employer, combined with Arlington government and school system and private. Amazon make it the largest employer. Major companies in Arlington, Virginia, Arlington Economic Development, Lockheed Martin. So here we go. Accenture, Bloomberg, Booz Allen, Guidehouse, Virginia Hospital, Nestle, Liddell, Deloitte, Gartner. Right. When I tell you, this drives what housing in the area. It drives the transportation in the area, the food in that area. This is what I'm talking about. You compare that to another county outside in Maryland. And this is what I'm talking about in terms of what is available to you in your particular county, and then the commute that you have to make. And so that's why I say you guys got to be strategic about where you work and live, and strategic about where things is going. Right? You travel to most of your places to get to work. I don't know why they shocked that you reside in Arlington. When I lived out there, I stayed in Fairfax. When I lived up there, I stayed right there off of Glebe Road. I'm not commuting for shit. I want to stay where the money is at. I don't mind walking down the street and Mary Poppins is running the children and flying over. I don't care. 15, 20 minutes is my thing. I'm mad now I gotta commute 30. And an hour if it's traffic. I'm mad now. It's an easy commute, but I still don't want to do it. I feel like I'm going all the way around the world, down the street, turn left, go all the way down, go all the way across, turn, get on the highway, dip and down. I'm mad now. I like 15 minutes max. And here's the other pet peeve of mine. Because I want to be able to run home. I want to be able to run home. You know what? Oh, I forgot such and such. Oh, I got the bubble guts. I want to go home. I want to go home. Right? So this is affecting your ability to find jobs. Where you live is affecting your ability to find jobs. Because the first thing you look at, you like, I don't want to commute. If you live in Atlanta or the DMV or Houston, San Antonio, Dallas, you commute. Just what it is. Let me see. All right. So I looked it up. The largest company with a significant black workforce. Do you know who that is? It's two. The first one is returning is FedEx, which employs 134,000 Black Americans and has a total workforce of 412. The next largest is a Black-owned company. You heard of them before, Worldwide Technology, with an annual revenue of 17 billion. Its workforce is 10,000. So in these other companies, your Lockheed Martins and so forth, we're not hitting 10,000. At One Group, another black owned, has 2,600 employees, and Bridgewater Interiors 2,400. That's where we're at. So most of us work for FedEx. All right, that's the largest. All right, so WT is here. If you guys have seen his videos online, here we go, careers. Uh, so founded in and headquartered in St. Louis. Worldwide Technology has a presence in Americas with offices in DC, Nashville, Denver, Seattle, Brazil, Mexico, and Costa Rica, and much more. So let's go explore careers. I'm just gonna put I'm gonna put Linux, and now I'll go back and put DevOps or something like that. But I just let this pull whatever it's gonna pull. All right. Senior software engineer, senior engineer information security, senior consultant systems engineer. You see associate engineer. That's what it pulled back when I did Linux. So what happens when I do DevOps? Pull back 10 for that. GCP, consultants, solution specialists, team lead, AWS cloud, senior engineer. And what happens when I pull back security? When we get there, when I pull security, we get 119. Principal AI security architect. Experience in AI, HPC, or large scale data platforms. All right. That's what we're pulling back. So go check them out. The postal service, nah. FedEx. FedEx. All right. It's been Tam After Dark. You guys got to see some dirty Diana today. You also got a chance to take flight. Don't open up any more liquor stores or hookah lounges, please. And last but not least, study where you're going to try to be employed at. It's a strategy. Some of the stuff is stacked against you. It's all right. You just know the play, right? You just know the play. You know how to get how to commute, right? How to commute. And what does that look like? Until we meet again, friends, y'all have a good night. I appreciate you.